Guys, you may remember some legislation that was passed here in the city. It's going back maybe close to a couple years ago now, the Downtown Redevelopment District that was created around the Everett property on South 4th Street. And the DRD was a new thing at the time, created in state legislation that enabled communities to create a specific area, a DRD, and within that area, identify a project or building with historical significance or value, and there's qualifiers for that. I won't get into the weeds on exactly what that means right now. But a project, in this case, it was the old Everett School. And if you're familiar with tax income refinancing or TIF, it's where you can capture increases in property value. Okay, I already talked about your really low millage rate here in the city. You only get a little bit of property tax value. What a TIF can do, what a DRD can do, is allow you to capture a disproportionate share of increased property tax value, and then strategically reinvest it into things of value or importance inside a TIF area or a DRD. They're not the same thing, but they function very similar. That's why I'm trying to draw that analogy. They're a downtown redevelopment district. We have a downtown with interest and need and redevelopment opportunities, but we don't have a downtown DRD. I believe it's worthwhile exploring creating a downtown redevelopment district. I'll just throw a couple reasons why the time might be good to do that, maybe sooner than later. When we created a TIF district along 23 a few years ago, there were several things happening at that time. Coughlin was expanding the dealership. There was expansion happening in Cargill. There was a new substation being built by AEP. It was like, hey, if we get this created, we can capture an increment off of those newly constructed things with taxable value. So we rushed to do that. We just had a new bank built here in the downtown, the Kingston Bank here in the last year. It's not on the tax rolls yet. That's just one example. There's other increments of tax increase to capture in a DRD. But that's a pretty big one. And it's a somewhat unique one that's probably not going to be replicated anytime soon in the downtown area. There's probably a whole laundry list of corresponding projects in the downtown area that could align with the DRD and with the potential revenue that the DRD would capture. One that I've been working on is the facades of both the Frontier building next to Pumpkin Show Park and the Rumpke building, which is our gateway and entrance into the city, and there's the crumbling bricks and the chimney hanging off the side of the building and whatnot. Not the most inviting entrance into Main Street Circle Mill. We actually are engaged right now with a consultant. They're engaged with the county, but the county's allowing us to use them. And we're working right now on an application of CDBG funding, target of opportunity money, to fix the facades of both those buildings. We've got Paul Johnson from 4J Properties is working on some engineering and cost estimates right now. I've had the consultant in town. They've toured the sites. They love the project. They think we'd have a very good chance of getting some traction with the state, potentially securing $200,000 or $300,000 to fix these buildings. But it requires a match. What better utility or mechanism or use of something like a DRD to not have to dig into your general fund or to ask anybody else, but utilize an increment of revenue that's already going to be paid by the bank, whether that's in place or not, and use it as matching funds for a CDBG application. Just an idea. There's probably a whole lot of other ones, maybe some better ones, but that's an opportunity that's in front of us right now. And a couple other things about DRDs and what money can be used for. It can be grants for renovations of historic buildings. It can be loans to help with renovations of buildings in historic districts, even if the building itself isn't historic. It can be used for infrastructure. There's no shortage of infrastructure and street work projects in and around the downtown area. And then a somewhat unique component of it is 20% of the proceeds, as I understand it, can be allocated for operational types of things. So people, personnel, management, leadership. It can be city, it can be nonprofit, it can be public development entity, it can be a number of different uses. But so often things are restricted to capital and hardware, nuts and bolts. This can help pay for people as well. I know that's been part of your discussion around planning and personnel and that sort of thing. So again, equipping yourself with options and utility of something like that, I think is worth some consideration. And so DRD for downtown is one thing. I just told you about the opportunity with CDBG and the county's new consultant. We're working in process now. I want to have an application. I'll have something in front of the folks at ODSA within the next month. That's my goal. It's not completely within my control, but that's what I'm kind of pushing for.